Hey guys, I wanted to record this video about the minimum wage change in Ontario. It's going from $10.25 to $11 an hour, and I've heard all this, whining from people and through the media about how corporations need to be more responsible and pay people a decent living and blah, blah, blah. Now, I've got a problem with that from a few different angles. First of all, it's not going to make a difference, and I'll tell you why. Most household breadwinners, they're not making minimum wage. Probably less than 1 or 2% of people that are household breadwinners earn minimum wage. You just can't live off it. I mean, they say you can't live off it and you can't feed yourself. Well, no kidding, no guff, guys. You cannot live off it. The last time I made minimum wage was when I was a young man. I was probably 13 or 14 years old, getting, a couple of bucks an hour. And it would take me a month to save up some money to go buy a plastic airplane model that I could assemble for fun. Minimum wage is nothing. It's not going to make a dent. It's not going to change anything. Suggesting that upping the minimum wage is better for Ontario and the economy and all that, that's all BS. And I'll tell you why. Companies that are paying minimum wages for jobs now, the guys at McDonald's that are flipping burgers or the people at Walmart, they get a lot of flack. I see it all the time. Walmart's bad because they pay minimum wage and minimum wage isn't high enough, and McDonald's, they got to pay people more so they can afford to buy the burgers that they're flipping. Well, let's talk about money for a sec, because all that money is stored value. Okay, so if I'm an employer and you're flipping hamburgers for me, that has a certain value to it. I'm going to store the value in money and I'm going to exchange it for your time in that money, and I'll pay you. Well, you get paid what you're worth. It's just a simple fact of life. You cannot escape that. If you're worth more money, if what you're doing is worth more money, you will make more money. You get paid what you're worth. It's a simple law. If I'm underpaying one of my employees and they deserve to earn more money, they're going to leave. Or maybe they'll create their own business because they see an opportunity or value there and become an entrepreneur themselves. That's just the way that it works. So, suggesting that upping the minimum wage is going to make things better for people and, corporations will, have to step up and do more is nonsense. Let me tell you something. McDonald's is practically a charity. If they're going to pay somebody $11 an hour to flip a hamburger, let's be honest, they're feeding you the crappiest food you can put in your body through a window in cardboard containers. That is not a specialized skill. It's a minimum wage job. And realistically, the reason why I say it's, Mickey D's is like a charity, realistically, and think about this, McDonald's, if you ever see this video, you guys could go out there, the technology exists, you could go out there and develop computers and robots that could flip hamburgers, put them in cardboard boxes, and shove them out a window to feed people. You can do that probably for less than $1 an hour, but you guys are running a charity and you're paying people considerably more at the minimum wage rate so you can employ people. Get off the minimum wage thing. Guys, seriously, if you're not making enough money, go find another job that pays you more. It's that simple. You shouldn't be relying on handouts or corporations or the government to change, your lifestyle for you by increasing minimum wage by 75 cents. Take a look around the world, and I've done this. Mexico, 61 cents an hour. The US, federally averaged at about 7.25. Throughout Europe, most of the countries there, corrected to the Canadian dollar, actually pay less than what we pay in Ontario, with the exception of France, Luxembourg, and Belgium, I believe. Most of the world has a minimum wage considerably lower. So all this, corporations need to pay more and, be more responsible and blah, blah, blah. Nonsense. I'm telling you. You want to change the world, you don't increase minimum wage by 75 cents. You're not making enough money. You got a bright idea, go create a business, employ people, pay them money, and add value to the lives of others. Then you will get paid more. The more value you can create in other people's lives, the more money you will make. That's simple. Be an entrepreneur. Trust me. That's the way to increase value. That's the way to improve your lifestyle. That's the way to improve your well-being. That's my rant for today. Minimum wage, it's BS. Take that, Ontario government.